Hi, in this video, I'll show you an overview of the main features of Holori software. When you arrive on the homepage on app.holori.com, you are presented with an overview of all your connected accounts and providers. Basically, Holori is currently compatible for the Finops part with AWS, Azure, GCP, OCI Scaleway, and Datadog, and for the cloud diagramming part with AWS, GCP, and Azure. So when you arrive on the software, you see on a given time frame that you can choose from a day to multiple months, where you have some active resources in the world, provider by provider, a summary of your connected accounts, number of assets, total cloud cost, etc. You can also see an evolution of your cloud cost over the past weeks, months, or days, depending on what you have chosen, and then a breakdown of your main services. So for example, here, compute at GCP is for me the main service, and then a list of your most expensive resources. Then we can have a look at the cost dashboard. Basically, the cost dashboard is where you will find all your service costs. So here you find a list of my most expensive services and the providers. For each of them, you have a nice color that you find here again on the graph, where you can visually track the evolution of your cloud cost. When I click on a service here, for example, Compute Engine, I can see all the resources that are some compute instances at GCP. And if I click on one, I will be able to go down to my usage cost. So here for my usage cost, I can keep track of all the cost for the running hours and then all the cost, for example, for my network data transfer, and I can keep track of all of that. Now let's go back to the inventory. The inventory is a list of all my resources, again sorted by the most expensive ones. Here on top, I can also play with some filters. They are cumulative, and the goal is that I can dig very specifically into the topic I want to investigate. So for example, I can filter by cloud provider, cloud account, tag, virtual tags, etc. The concept of virtual tag, I would like to talk a bit about it, is specifically something we have developed at Holori, and it comes on top of your provider tags. As we know, if you have multiple providers, it's very likely that you will have some inconsistencies between the different tags that you are using. Here, you are able to create some meta tags that will come on top of these cloud provider tags. For example, imagine that you are working with a customer. This customer is using some of your resources across multiple providers. By using a specific virtual tag for this customer, you will be able to identify and track the cost of these resources everywhere and regardless of the provider they are on. Then also in terms of cost allocation, at Holori, we have developed a very nice feature. As you know, cost allocation is critical for all companies. What is cost allocation? Well, at the end of the month or at the end of the year, we will need to show back or charge back the cloud cost to the different divisions and departments that have been responsible for the use of the resources. Here at Holori, we create an org chart of your organization where you are able to put all the different departments and divisions, and then a list of all your resources, tags, etc. And you can simply drag and drop some tags or resources on the responsible division. It means that here, by doing that, you allocate the cost to this division. Then you can keep track of your coverage, the goal, of course, being to reach 100% coverage. Another topic that is very interesting are the budgets. The budgets are very important to track. Imagine that you are working again with a customer. This customer is Toyota, and you grant it a $100 budget per month. You want to make sure that you are not exceeding this budget. Here in Holori software, you are able to identify, for example, with a virtual tag, all the resources used by Toyota. You can keep track that the budget is $100, and you can see where you currently stand, what is the forecasted cost at the end of the month, and also what is the expected gap. Soon, we will be releasing a notification feature where when you reach a certain threshold, you get an email, you get a Slack notification, and you make sure that you will always remain in control of your cloud cost. Now, let's have a look at the infra visibility. The infra view part is where we display and generate automatically on a daily basis diagram of your cloud infra. Let's have a look for GCP. Here, as you can see, you have numerous regions. For example, here, US Central 1, Europe West 9, and then in these regions, you have some cloud resources that are all summarized here on the left, where you can dig a bit deeper into all of that. But here, if you see, you have here two resources. This compute one, for example, is not only an icon on the grid, but if you click on it, we open details about it. So we open first a summary, we have information, and then we can go much deeper using Terraform variables about the specific configuration of this resource. We're also able to show you a 3D view of your infra, and we can also compare two iterations of your infra any date back in time, where you can see how things have evolved on two sides. It can also be a div diagram. And with diff diagram, we show you there is a very simple color code, what has been added, updated, or removed between 2 iterations. We can also export and generate automatically some documentation of your infra. This is done on a daily basis. It always starts the same way with a nice diagram, a list of your resources, and then for each resource, you will find lots of information about each of them. Now let's go back to the home page. So as you understood, Holori is the perfect tool to keep track of your cost and your infra. It was only a short demo. We have lots of other videos covering each topic in more details. And of course, if you need a dedicated onboarding, feel free to reach out. Thank you.